Hi, I'm Lucy, and you are now watching The Gamer's Choice, The Gamer's Champion. The one that's loving you, the one and only DDW. DEDarkDeathWing. Game over.
What's up, my duddies and dudettes? This is the one and only Gamer's Choice, Gamer Champion, the one that's loving you, the one and only DDW. And I have a big announcement for you guys. I've been doing a lot of late night work lately on my YouTube, so it's been really hard to keep up with all my gameplays and my commentaries and my videos and my tricks and all this good stuff that I like to do here on this channel. But one thing that I do want to announce to you guys is one of my all-time favorite games did come out, and I just couldn't help but just adding another playlist to this, which is the NBA 2K14. So with the New York Knicks, anybody who's close to me knows it's one of my all-time favorite teams. So I thought I would be doing a what-if type of thing. What if they got an amazing player, which is one of my, how can I say, constantly created players, which is X Xtreme, modeled after myself. What if he actually joined the New York Knicks and gave him a little bit of a resurgence? New York Knicks is one of my all-time favorite teams since I was a kid. I've always wanted to see him win a championship, and I thought now it's better than ever to actually see if I can make that dream a reality, at least inside of a game. So X Xtreme has joined the New York Knicks, and we're going to see the way this season actually plays out. So keep it here. Every one of these playlist videos you're going to see is actually going to be an entire 12-minute quarters, just like you was watching on TV. So stay tuned, enjoy the drama. Things will unfold little by little, and hopefully at the end of it all, we'll be seeing the New York Knicks winning the title.
Hi and welcome. This is Damon Bruce, and you're watching 2K Sports. It's Wednesday night basketball. It's the Milwaukee Bucks going up against the New York Knicks. And that's all for now. Time to hand it over to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. I'll be back with more at halftime.
And the players getting together for a little chat as we're just about ready to get going here. This is it, opening day. The regular season is set to begin, and we're thrilled to bring you all the live action right here on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan with my broadcast partners, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. Man, can you feel the excitement in the air? And to tip off opening night, let's check out the starting lineups. First for Milwaukee, Brandon Knight is out there with Mayo. And inside, a kinetic shot blocker, rebounder out of Virginia Commonwealth, Harry Sanders. And it's Karan Butler. And it's Ilyasova in at the 4 spot. And looking at the Knicks, Belton is out there with the chosen one. And in the middle, the 2012 Defensive Player of the Year, 7'1", rebounder, shot blocker, and leader, Tyson Chandler. Then it's Anthony, and it's Stoudemire in at the 4 slot.
You know, after losing Jeremy Lin going into last season, guys, I think some fans were concerned that the team might slip back to isolation basketball and their offense would stagnate, but instead they flourished as a three-point shooting team.
And back to the Knicks personnel moves, you got to give them a lot of credit going out and finding shooters, and defenders, and Steve, playmakers to surround their star players with.
Yeah, they ended up with Bargnani, putting him at the kind of the shooting 4 spot, adding another three-point threat. The Knicks are always going to be aggressive personnel-wise. This was already a good team, second best record in the East, but you know, they're looking to get better.
On defense, New York. This game against Milwaukee here, it's their first look to start the season.
Well, they took care of business last year. They swept the season series from them, as they should have, because they're the better team.
That's a quick foul to pick up here in the opening quarter.
Ilyasova gets a screen from Sanders. Butler passes to Mayo. Shoots inside. It's rebounded by the chosen one. Going back to what Steve just said, this must have been one of their favorite opponents last year.
Well, they matched up well with almost anyone they played, but especially these guys.
And Milwaukee has possession. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
I had a chance to catch up with Mike Woodson. With this being their first meeting of the year, he stressed to his team to rely on their instincts on the offensive end, saying, we do a good job of finding soft spots in defenses and not forcing anything. As long as we can continue doing that here, we'll be in good shape. We'll see if that holds true, guys.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. And getting good shots, guys, creating those quality opportunities is something Coach hopes to see here early on.
You know, Kevin, I think he worries sometimes that his guys play too much individual one-on-one basketball. I think he really wants the focus to be on team execution today.
And that's where it always should be, Kevin. And Steve, hero ball doesn't usually end up allowing you to be successful, so let's see if his message got across. You know, playing in London during the 2012 summer seemed to do wonders for Melo. It often does wonders for guys that play with that national team. He came back with all kinds of confidence and seemed to be at another level.
Both free throws good from Anthony. And for Carmelo, boy, he really excels in international play, doesn't he? Always has.
Yeah, the three-point line is just a bit shorter, which kind of brings it right into his comfort zone. So he can play that zone buster role for Team USA. And I'll tell you what, he can do so many other things, too, because of his size and quickness.
And you hear his coaches talk about his defense is better than they expected, too.
Ironic, isn't it?
Very. And out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession.
Well, I think that pass caught him off guard, but he showed us board hands, too.
For Milwaukee, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Butler with the ball. Now Anthony defending. Mayo kicks to Knight. Passes it to Ilyasova. 6 on the shot clock. Mayo. He's covered by Felton. It's rebounded by New York. Anthony kicks to Felton. There's the pass to the chosen one. A three-pointer, no good.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, he had a really good look. I mean, he'll knock that down more often than not. You can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
New York's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. And it's rejected.
I don't know if it's just me, but he's looked a step slow since the start of the quarter. His shooting has really suffered.
Mayo kicks to Ilyasova. And another 3 for Milwaukee.
You know, in Larry Drew's case, it was a bit of an unusual situation once the season concluded. He was in the final year of his deal. The Hawks said we'll interview other candidates and left him free to interview for other head coaching positions, and he landed in Milwaukee.
And here is Knight. Following the 3 from Ilyasova. Knight puts up the baby hook. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Well, the one thing that you have to have in basketball is big men who can protect the rim. And that's what Sanders does. He's willing to go up and block shots, really patrol the paint, and protect that rim area.
Yeah, you know, but there's nothing easy in the lane when Sanders is on the floor. Always have to be looking over your shoulder if you plan on putting up a shot with him around. Well, Stephen, back to Coach Drew, of course, he ended up signing with the Bucks.
Well, that was an interesting move for him to go from Atlanta to Milwaukee. You know, the Hawks were one of the better defensive teams in the league last year. I think that's what the Bucks saw in Drew. And that's the idea for him to really help this team get the most out of its players, particularly defensively.
The Bucks working the ball around. Knight kicks to Butler. Fades. That's good. The assist that time from Knight. And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here.
Well, Brandon Knight out of Kentucky is more of a combo guard than a pure point when you look at him offensively. So with his long arms and good athleticism and at 6'3", I think there's a lot of upside for him at the defensive end of the floor. I think he's a guy that can defend 1 and 2s effectively.
And for Brandon Knight offensively, still trying to figure it out.
I think he's best as a spot-up shooter. I mean, he does have some point guard skills. He's got some athleticism, but he's really an excellent outside shooter when he's got time to set up.
For 3, Felton. And again, it's the Knicks missing. And the Bucks with possession. Big run right now going for him, 11-2. Mayo dishing to Knight. Sanders with a screen on Felton. Knight kicks to Mayo. 4 on the shot clock. Stolen away. And now the Knicks on the break. Felton the pass to the Chosen One. Gets it to go. The Chosen One's got 5 points so far.
Well, the drive to the bucket was nice, but how about the finger roll finish? Beautiful.
Ilyasova dishes to Butler. Feeds to Knight. He kicks it to Mayo. A feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, I think that could really set things up well the rest of the game. Pound the ball inside and then let your perimeter players play off your bigs.
A wide open 3. They need much better communication defensively.
Knight against Felton. It's O.J. Mayo on the wing. Sanders. And another shot. And he lays it up and in.
You know, that putback's about as easy as it's going to get. You have to put a body on someone down there.
Well, no box out. That's the result you get right there. You got to have some guts and guile to take it to the bucket strong despite the big fella standing in the way.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Milwaukee.
You know, guys, we've really seen them do a lot of damage in the paint so far.
Yeah, their passing has been terrific, too. Clark, we're seeing a lot of assists, really moving, kind of flow offensively. I like what I see.
Well, after a brief 2-year drought, the Bucks got back to the playoffs this past season, but it wasn't pretty once they got there. With several guarantees from players about upsetting the Heat, they didn't win a single game and were swept by the Miami Heat.
Shot's good. Knicks trail by 4. It's Carmelo Anthony on the wing. Latrey. Milwaukee with the rebound. Sanders has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Back to the Bucks in the playoffs. In every aspect, they were overmatched by the Heat, and no one really thought they would upset them. But many thought, Steve, that they would at least get a game.
Well, I wasn't one of them, Kevin. I thought they were overmatched from the start. And you could tell in that series, Miami wasn't even interested until the 4th quarter. They knew they could just flip a switch and beat this Milwaukee team. And that's exactly what they did.
Mayo drives in. He feeds it to Butler from 11 feet away. And here we go with Anthony running it up the court. Here's Felton. Drops in the layup for 2. Felton's got 5 points so far.
Perseverance paying off on the offensive boards, guys.
Tipped away. And that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession. With this break in the action, we can show you the teams that had the most rebounds last season. 5th best, the Bucks.
Well, I tell you what, Kevin, they never eased up on the boards throughout last season. I mean, they were tenacious. They persevered. They were aggressive. I mean, they went after the boards hard.
Here is Ilyasova. 6 points for him. Here's the chosen one. Doubled by Knight. Here's Felton. Rejected by Sanders. And Butler, here we go. Back to Knight. Soft touch off the glass. Knight's got his second bucket.
Yeah, off to a rough start. Just doesn't seem to have the rhythm with his shot.
Here's Anthony. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot two.
Well, what a year for Melo. He just started so hot and he kept it going throughout last season. Led the league in scoring and I think really became the superstar that he seemed destined to become.
He'll take his third and fourth free throw shots of the game right here.
How about the work last season from the free throw line? He shot about 83%.
Guys, I thought he got into a groove last year at the charity stripe, and I thought he maintained it deep into the season as well.
Going back to Carmelo, the superstar, last season his jersey sales jumped to first, Clark, in the entire NBA.
Seems like a good fit for him in New York. I mean, his star has been magnified there, but it's due to his play. I mean, he embraces the expectations. When you think back to that game in April where he dropped 50 on the Heat, I think he's playing some of the best basketball of his career.
No good from Bargnani. Milwaukee leading by 3. Butler kicks to Knight. Back to Butler. Shot clock at 6. Rejected by Bargnani. But they'll get another chance. Shot by Mayo is no good.
And he continues to search for his rhythm. It's eluded him to this point.
Smith kicks to Felton. And he hits it to tie the game up. Felton has got 8 points.
And his shots are dropping right now. This quarter has been very kind to him.
Knight gets a screen from Pachulia. Knight kicks to Pachulia. Here's the pick. Here's Mayo. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Mayo's got his third basket of the night right there. The Knicks have gone 6 of 14 shooting the ball since the start of the game. On the wing, Shumpert shoots it. Milwaukee with the rebound. Ilyasova's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
What's interesting for me to watch with Mike Woodson as head coach in New York is the exciting floor spacing offense they started playing last season. In Atlanta, he'd been known for a grinded out isolation play style, but has actually tweaked his approach a little bit, and that's been impressive.
Shots good by Anthony.
His presence is very comforting for this team. He's kind of a fallback option for them anytime they need it.
Felton against Knight. Kicks to Ilyasova. Pulls up. Another miss by Ilyasova. And back to Mike Woodson, not a flashier, high-maintenance type of personality. He keeps it on the level, and I think, Steve, the players appreciate that.
Players definitely like that. He's very quiet on the sidelines, but not afraid to get in your face when necessary. And I think that's a really good temperament for a coach to have. In general, I think he's a guy who is very well respected around the league and did an excellent job with New York this season.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Knicks.
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
And they're sharing the ball, too, which I love. They're piling up the assist. We're seeing great offensive movement.
Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. Udo's checked in for Pachulia. John Henson comes in for Ilyasova. And Gary Neal subbed in for O.J. Mayo. Smith, no good.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Now here's Butler. He's guarded closely. Ridnour from outside. No good. So New York will take it the other way. Martin, the pass to World Peace. Out of bounds, Knicks ball as New York keeps possession of it.
Oh, we've got a moment here now, Kevin, to look back to last year's Knicks. First in fewest turnovers a game. Fifth in three-point field goal percentage. And they were in the top half of the league offensively with their point totals as well. Not bad, just kind of...
Oh, look out! Wow, we're going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Kevin. That was special.
Oh, man, that was a circus dunk.
1:21 left to play here in the first. Now, here's Ridnour. He's guarded by Udrih. There's the dish to Neal. Pass to Ridnour. Bucks passing it around. And that's good. Gary Neal for three. Neal's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. New York trailing. Outside jumper. Dishes it to Smith. Now Ridnour. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Udo kicks to Butler. No good with the triple.
He has just disappeared this quarter, not making a mark at all offensively.
And I'm sure he's ready to put this quarter behind him and quickly.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Ridnour with it. Now guarded by Shumpert. Out of bounds. New York takes possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
Carlos Delfino's checked in for Caron Butler. The Knicks shooting just about an even 40% to start. Hardaway for three. It's rebounded by Delfino.
And very quickly here in the first quarter, pronounced advantage for them on the glass.
Yeah, that's a trend they'd love to continue right through the next three quarters as well.
They set the screen. And Neal kicks to Ridnour. 1 second left. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Bucks lead by 2. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
Bring your costume. It's Halloween in the NBA. Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks take on Joakim Noah and the Chicago Bulls. This Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. Don't miss it.
And we welcome you back to the NBA here on 2K Sports. If you're just tuning in, this is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And we're ready to get going once more. The players having a chance to have a short break and get some rest themselves and get refueled and hydrated with some Gatorade. More terrific basketball in store for us tonight. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Bucks, guys.
It was a pretty solid first quarter for this club. They limited their mistakes and really took advantage offensively.
You know what? I like what I've seen from them on the other end, forcing a few giveaways. That's excellent pressure and good activity with the hand.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, guys, J.R. Smith is as a player who has faced his share of criticism over the years. Coming into last season, he said, I looked my career over and realized I never won anything. I'm lacking discipline. I have to show people a different side of me, that I can be more positive, humble, and be more of a team player as opposed to just trying to do everything myself. And it paid off as he won the Sixth Man of the Year award. Coach Mike Woodson said, quote, I'm so proud of him. He bought in, put in the time, and he worked his tail off. A great story, Kevin.
Well, you have to like that focus on the team first. Thanks, Doris. And here's the fast break. Udrih leading the way. Smith, no good. And the foul called on Kenyon Martin. That's his first foul. Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter.
You know, when you're in the East, you don't have to necessarily be an above 500 team on the road, but you got to be close to 500. And the Bucks were a solid team on the road, and that's why they made the playoffs.
And Clark, you talk about the Bucks. They went 17-24 on the road last season. That might not be the most impressive mark, but it was still 7th best in the conference in terms of road wins.
Well, the East was pretty weak. We know that. And the Bucks making the playoffs at all was the perfect example of how weak the East was. But look, they can get better. They've got some young talent. They've got some things to be excited about. And one is the play of John Henson, second-year man from North Carolina.
The chosen one passes to Smith. And the three ball is good.
He had to wait for a while, all the way until now. But he finally got his first three-pointer of the game.
Shoots from the elbow. Ridnour, that's good. Ridnour's got his first bucket in this one.
The mid-range jumper becomes a pretty high percentage shot for him when he has that kind of space.
He doesn't have the elite speed or shooting ability to be an impact starter. But Luke Ridnour, with his experience in the league, the way he can run an offense, his ball handling skills, and his three-point shot-making ability, is ideally suited to be a backup point guard and a very effective one for any team in the league.
Pass to Walters. Here's the screen. The feed now to Henson. And that's a foul called on Beno Udrih. That is his first foul of the game.
It looked to me like the defender didn't get squared up and get his feet set.
Good work by the officials. A nice call. That play can be tough to judge sometimes.
The Bucks making a switch here. Sanders is checked in. He dishes it to Delfino. Delfino gets a screen from Udoh. Delfino kicks to Udoh. 5 on the clock. Passes it to Ridnour. Nice shot from the wing. And Ridnour's three-point percentage has fallen off the last few seasons, Steve, but he's still one of the top mid-range shooters in the game.
Yes, he is. Former 14th overall pick out of Oregon back in 2003. You know, defensively, he can sometimes be at a disadvantage, but he's really carved out a nice, long career.
Tyson Chandler, who's checked in for New York. Stoudemire comes in for Beno Udrih. Milwaukee leading by 3. Ridnour with it. Now guarded by the chosen one. Delfino. Tyson Chandler grabs the board.
Well, he's wide open there, but really struggles from that range. Maybe there's a reason he's open.
The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way. So Stoudemire will go to the line to shoot 2. Luke Ridnour picks one up.
A lot of high hopes for the Knicks in last year's playoffs. They started off so hot, but then let the series against Boston drag on, and eventually went to 7 games, and they fell to the Pacers in the second round after that.
Poked away. Chandler, the pass to the chosen one. And here's the fast break. Here's Walters. Drops in the breakaway layup. Walters got 4 points now in the quarter.
Terrible transition defense there.
I I think it would have been pointless, Steve. There was no way anybody was beating him to the basket there.
And the Boston series did drag on him, you could tell. You wonder if they were a bit fatigued going into that Pacers series. Steve, Indiana just outplayed him, outworked him in every way in the second round.
Yeah, I think it was a factor, Kevin, and really the Knicks have only themselves to blame. They had Boston down 3-1 and a home game to close it out, but they couldn't get it done. And there's no doubt that affected them against Indiana in the next series.
Buries it from three-point range. Walters got 7.
And he's shaking off a poor first quarter shooting effort. He's really starting to turn it on now, guys.
Smith outside. He passes it to the chosen one. And the shot is good. He's got 16.
Well, offensively, he's taken a solid opening quarter and just built on it here in the second.
Ridnour with it. The pass to Walters. Off target from three-point range. Ridnour kicks to Walters. Feeds to Ridnour. 6 to shoot. Second chance shot. And that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
That whistle got a big response from this crowd, and it is not a favorable one, let's say.
I'll tell you what, the fans can't believe that they made that call.
Ilyasova, he's checked in for the Bucks.
Well, you know, the Bucks thought they had a plan to make a big push forward by pairing some talent together in the backcourt, but what seems to have happened is they are now mired in mediocrity, which is exactly where you don't want to be.
Here's Chandler, and boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is, and so they will award the basket there.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
And New York making a change here. Felton's checked in. Bucks have gone 6 of 12 in the second quarter, right at the 50% mark from the field. Here's Walters. He's covered by Felton. And Walters kicks to Ilyasova. Milwaukee, no good that time either. And back to Minnesota. They were the 8th seed in the East last year, but still finished 6 games under 500. Still a lot of work for them to get above 500 and be in a position where, Steve, they are, competing for home court in the playoffs.
Yeah, a lot of changes for the Bucks in the offseason, but a team that was able to sneak in last year, they're hopeful to make it once again this season, but it feels like they're kind of stuck in the middle right now.
Clock at 6. Good work defensively by Stoudemire. For New York, they've gone 8 of 12 since the start of the second quarter. That's a really high percentage, hitting around 67%.
Well, sometimes, guys, you can forget he's out there, and all of a sudden, bang, he'll string together 3 or 4 shots in a row and just take over the game.
And something else he does is he's great off the dribble. He can take it to the rack or pull up. So as a defender, you don't know how to play him.
It's Anthony with the drive. Here's Smith. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Now it's a 6-point Knicks lead.
Well, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
Here's Walters. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Walters got 9 points in the quarter.
He's making it look easy scoring out there because he's much more efficient here in the second.
Chandler kicks to Anthony. Outside, Felton. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. 11 points for Raymond Felton.
And as the game has gone along, they've gotten much more aggressive on the offensive board.
You know, crashing the boards is really an effort thing. It's an attitude and effort thing. And if teams get tired, they usually take a break on crashing the board. But they've done just the opposite here.
Sanders dishes to Ridnour. He kicks to Sanders. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Grown man's power flush with the long hang on the rim at the end of it.
Clark, that could be a catalyst for him.
I think you're right.
Well, we've seen these kind of plays get them going in the past, that's for sure.
And here's Anthony from the arc. And again, New York with the triple.
Well, it seems like when they've gone to him, it's really come through. That's not something they should get away from.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game.
Well, for so long, the Knicks have been the punchline of the Eastern Conference the last decade. Poorly managed contracts and questionable trades really kept them from rising to the top in the East. But once again now, they look like a powerhouse.
Courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here's a peek at the league's top scorers from a season ago. Number 1, Carmelo Anthony.
Well, that's why he's playing with so much confidence. I mean, he just has that belief because of what he did last year.
Bucks trail by 8. And Clark, you were right. The Knicks were a powerhouse last season. Steve, 37 wins against the rest of the conference, and they just would dominate other teams at times.
Well, they're a team that doesn't really want to run a lot or force tempo. They just kind of want to get you in the half court. They don't turn the ball over, and they bury you from long range. So they found their identity last year, and it really dominated in that Eastern Conference.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Well, Kevin, a curious signing for the Bucks this offseason, bringing in Pachulia on a 3-year mid-level type deal. This is a team that already had a logjam in the front court with Sanders, Henson, Ilyasova, and Drew Gooden. The Bucks traded away promising forward Tobias Harris last year for what became a couple of second-round picks. They did much the same with Mbah Moute. It's all about getting the most out of your assets. Guys, we'll see how the Bucks do shuffling their pieces around.
It'll be interesting to see. Thanks, Doris. Ridenour, that's good.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
Yeah, it sure has, Clark. I mean, with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they really haven't had to do much on the perimeter.
Well, a big new contract, guys, for Ersan Ilyasova going into last season, and he terrified everybody in Milwaukee with a terrible start, but regained his confidence in January and finished the season strong.
And Walters kicks to Delfino. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Ridenour, and that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block, but that one's going to count.
And the crowd immediately letting the officials have it after that whistle.
A very unpopular call there.
Pachulia, he's checked in for Larry Sanders. Smith for 3. They get it back. It's Carmelo Anthony on the wing. It's good, the assist that time from Smith. Smith's got his 5th assist in this one. And going back to the rough start for Ilyasova, not uncommon for players to struggle after getting that big new contract.
Yeah, I've seen it time and again, players putting a lot of pressure on themselves, trying to live up to the money. But in most cases, the coaches just want the player to do what he does already and what got him here in the first place.
Felton the pass to Smith. Drops in the tray. Smith's got 8.
This is tough to stop if you're the defense. I mean, they've been absolutely on fire from behind that three-point line, and the way they space the floor, it's hard to get to those shooters.
He feeds it to Delfino. Back to Knight. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. A 3 ball. And yes, sir, that one drops. 7 points in the game.
Now they're finally starting to shoot the ball a little bit better now.
I thought this was the kind of play they needed in the first quarter, but as I always like to say, it's better late than never.
Gets it to go.
They just continue to splash home those threes. Eliminating the deep shot has to become priority number 1 for this defense.
It really does. I mean, it's not possible to give up that many points behind the arc and not pay the price in the end.
Mayo against Smith. Mayo dishing to Delfino. To Mayo. On deep. Bargnani grabs the board.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, they were very lucky defensively because there was some miscommunication there. They left him wide open.
Smith for 3. It's rebounded by Ilyasova. Ilyasova's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Knight kicks to Ilyasova. Back to Knight. It's O.J. Mayo on the wing. Pass to Knight. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Knight's got 9 points.
Yeah, beautiful drive there, going right around the bigger man.
Anthony drives in. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
You know, even from here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
Yep, pretty obvious. And a good call by the official.
The Knicks have hit most of their free throws tonight, 5 of 6.
Yeah, basically a middle-of-the-road type free throw shooting team, about 76% a year ago.
The Bucks making a switch here. Both free throws good from Anthony.
There's not a lot you can say that hasn't been said before about his skill at the charity stripe.
And so we wrap up the first half. New York ahead, up by 8. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
It's opening day in the NBA, and all is right in the 2K sports world. Hello, I'm Damon Bruce. The Knicks are taking care of business. They'd like to get this season off to a good start today. Carmelo Anthony has had himself an amazing start, shooting nearly 70% so far, a gaudy shooting percentage, the envy of everybody playing tonight. And the Bucks still in it, going all out. The outside shot just not there for them today, but that certainly hasn't stopped them from trying. We might see some adjustments after the break. Caron Butler falling a little short in this one. His shot isn't falling. He's been ice cold. And to look at the games being played right now. For the Cavaliers at Quicken Loans Arena, we find them trailing to Brooklyn. They're down 3 in the third. It's still a close one. And another game going on. It's a close game for Philadelphia going up against Miami. 2 points up, they're in third. And here's a look at the other NBA action from around the league. The Boston Celtics are trailing the Raptors out in Toronto, about midway through the third out there. And that's all we got for you here in the studio. Time to send you back out to Kevin, Steve, Clark, and Doris for the start of the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Now the third quarter about to get going.
What a great game for Anthony in this one. 22 points, and he's buried a ton of three-pointers in this game, too.
Yeah, it's getting hard to keep track of just how many of those he's hit.
Bucks trail by 8. Now, here is Knight. Back to Butler. Kicks it to Sanders. Shot clock at 6. Fade away. Tyson Chandler pulls it in. Chandler's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's the chosen one. The dish now to Felton. From 13, and the jumper falls for him. Felton has got the opening bucket to start the second half for the Knicks. Knight kicks to Mayo. They set the pick. Inside. Here's Sanders. The kick out to Mayo. Goes back up. Foul call. Looked like the D didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws.
And a chance here to check out how the Bucks ranked in the NBA last season. 2nd in blocks, 5th in rebounding, and they were in the top 10 in steals as well. I mean, this is a team that really gets after people defensively. Deflection, pressure on the ball, all of that leads to steals.
And I think the thing that jumps out at me is the blocks per game. It just shows how well coached they were defensively. Great rotations. They closed out, and they forced their opponents into tough situations at the hoop. That's how they were able to block so many shots.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
A big problem for the Bucks last season was closing out games in the fourth quarter. You know, too often they would see their defense fall to the wayside as soon as the game started heading down the stretch. And as a result, they lost a lot of close ones.
Well, Clark, you brought it up. The Bucks defense would be solid for 3 quarters of the game, but would just not look like they were supposed to be in the fourth quarter at all. Not sure, Steve, if it was fatigue or something else that got to it.
I thought one of the keys was they didn't have great perimeter defense. And so even though they were a good shot blocking team, they were constantly having to cover up on penetration. And so even though you might get some shot blocks, you're also going to give up layups and offensive rebounds. That was a major problem for the Bucks last year. And offensively, they have yet to hit a shot. Slow start here to the second half.
Beyond the arc, rejected by Mayo. The numbers in their favor. Right side, Mayo. Dishes it to Sanders. Mayo. Milwaukee, no good that time either.
4 straight misses. They've got to find a way to get back on track.
You know, it was a hot start last season for O.J. Mayo in Dallas, guys. A lot of people wondered if he finally turned the throwdown.
Oh, man, that was a real hard to do.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
Those are phenomenal dunks to watch. So much fun.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee.
Well, for a long time, for the New York fans, going to see a Knicks game was an exercise in masochism, but they've turned it around in a big way, and now this is a tough place to play for a road team.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Pass to Butler. 3-pointer. That's good. Butler's got 7 points in the game. And Clark, that's what winning's going to do for you. The Knicks had the second best home record in the East last season as they won 31 games here.
Well, you know, Kevin, there's so much mystique here in this building. I mean, everybody loves to play in New York. It's the mecca for basketball in this country. And when NBA players come into New York, they can't wait to play against this Knicks team. And the Knicks, they want to defend their home floor.
6 on the shot clock. Here's the chosen one.
Well, he did have a 3-pointer in the first half, but so far here in the second, he's come up empty.
Off target with his 3. Knight with it. Now Chandler defending. The feet to Mayo. Back to Knight. Milwaukee the rebound.
Multiple possessions have been the story of the game, and even with the big lead, this team continues to be quicker to the ball. He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Fans don't like that call one bit.
Well, the officials got an earful as a result.
Gets the bucket. 23 points for the chosen one.
Well, this is what he does. He's shooting it well. He's scoring a lot of their points, getting them in front.
Knight kicks to Ilyasova. Mayo, the pass to Ilyasova. To Mayo. With the lead pass. That one goes. Count it. Knight's got 11 points.
Nice touch near the hoop.
Here's the chosen one. Out of bounds. Milwaukee takes possession. Let's take a look at last year's leading shot blockers. You don't want one of these guys in front of you when you're coming down the lane. And you look at Sanders, second in the NBA, a great defender.
I think he cares more about shot blocking than any other element of his game, guys. Takes so much pride in it. That's why he was where he was on that list.
The offensive rebound. Chandler with the block. Here's the chosen one, defended by Butler, and is blocked by Ilyasova. Bucks trail by 9. Mayo drives in. The finger roll finish at the bucket. Mayo's got 8. Anthony dishes to Chandler. That's in there. Anthony with the assist.
Brought back the finger roll. That's a nice finesse move to pull off with the defense all over.
Milwaukee's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Felton against Knight. Lets it go with a 3. That's good. Knight's got 5 points in the quarter.
This guy will really make you pay if you leave him enough room outside.
outside, Felton. He dishes it to Carmelo. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Anthony's got 25 points. Knight against Felton. Knight kicks to Butler. Back to Knight. A three. And that one's good. Knight's got 17 now.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
But the defense isn't making them earn it. I mean, those shots have just come on easy, open looks.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, during the season before last, the Bucks' problem had been offense. They just couldn't put up points consistently, and even when their defense would hold up, they would simply get outgunned by teams. They decided to change that by trying to be more of a transition team last year.
The Bucks making a switch here. Neal's checked in. And back to the Bucks actually led the entire Eastern Conference in pace and were 3rd overall in the NBA. Steve, only teams that were ahead of them were the Rockets and Nuggets, 2 teams you always think of running.
Well, it makes sense for the Bucks to have played that style last year. You had that backcourt of Ellis and Jennings, a lot of speed and quickness. They later added J.J. Redick, so you had shooting. So they had to play fast. It made some sense, but in the end, you know, they've made some changes in the offseason, and they're looking to get better.
He's finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's having.
That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. Here's what the schedule says for the New York Knicks and what it looks like. When this game is done, they'll be off to Chicago as they take on the Bulls. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them.
Boy, a lot of fans around the league really focused on that matchup for Chicago.
Passes it to the chosen one. And that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. Felton's got his 7th assist here tonight. The pass to Neal. And that time, also a missed shot.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Chandler, the pass to the chosen one. And here's the fast break. Knight leading the way. Shot's good by Neal. Neal's got 5.
So deflating for a team. Clark coughing up the ball at one end, and then it turns into immediate points at the other end.
And it's just as much of a boost for the team getting those easy points off the steal.
From 6 feet. And that's good for 2. Neal's got 4 points in the quarter. Felton dishes to Stoudemire. The chosen one. Anthony, the pass to the chosen one. Feeds it to Chandler. Outside for Felton. New York moving it around. Pass to the chosen one. Shot clock at 5. And the foul on Amari Stoudemire. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Udo's checked in for the Bucks. Bucks trail by 8. Outside Mayo. And Neal kicks to Mayo. That is good. Mayo's got 10 points.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
No question. Pound it into the painted area and continue to put pressure on that defense.
Here's Martin. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. And the Knicks lead by 8.
Well, he's so dangerous on the offensive glass. Well, Clark, what's your expression for it? Glass eater?
That's right. You got it, Steve. A go and get it specialist is another way to look at him. He follows every shot, never assumes it's going in.
Felton the pass to the chosen one. And stolen by Ilyasova. Mayo into the lane. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Mayo's got 6 here in this quarter.
Seems like they're on their heels every time defensively because the ball continues to go into the post.
Well, if they don't pick up the aggression, things are only going to get worse.
His work in the offensive end has been phenomenal. Maybe reason number 1, they're ahead.
Right side, Butler. He passes to Neal. He kicks to Udo. 6 to shoot. Again, Mayo missing.
Boy, from my angle, it looked like it was in the bottom of the net. Looked good from here.
Yep, I thought so too, Clark.
O.J. Mayo is out of USC. He's in his 6th season in the NBA, fellas, and he was considered the top player in his high school class. Very, very highly regarded. He's yet to be a star at the professional level, but I think he's looking to solidify himself as a quality starter.
Barry Sanders is checked in for Milwaukee. Stoudemire, and that is good.
That rebound and the follow kind of typify what he's all about. Just gritty, determined play.
And there's the call on Felton. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Knight against Felton. Knight kicks to Mayo. And the layup is good. Mayo's got 8 points in the quarter. And for O.J. Mayo, 6'4" player. Some people saw him as a guy who could play point guard, shooting guard. He's just a player. He can do a lot of things on the floor.
He's a decent ball handler, but he's a shooting guard. I mean, he can be a little bit of a combo guy, but for the most part, he's out there to score. And most of those points coming off jump shots.
6 on the shot clock. And the layup's good off the glass. Mayo's got 10 points here in the second half.
You know, they really aren't putting up any resistance on the low block. That's the 5th consecutive basket inside.
And Steve, these looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
The more touches he gets, the more this lead will grow. He has just been unconscious this quarter.
Knight kicks to Butler. Got a piece of it. Now, here is Knight. He's tightly guarded. Stoudemire with the defensive effort.
That's really too easy a chance to miss, guys. He needs to be more aggressive and focused on his finishing.
Here's the chosen one. Some solid defense from Brandon Knight.
You know, with the time left, they can trade 2 for 1 here.
If they hurry.
And here's Ilyasova outside. That's good. The assist that time from Knight. Ilyasova's got 9 points.
Wow, he's got such a sweet three-point stroke. The way he can shoot it, forcing opposing bigs out on the perimeter, can really open up the lane.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Here's Mayo, and he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
You can see that they're not as aggressive from the three-point arc. They had far more attempts in the first half.
And the basket good. And that's 38 points for the chosen one.
Starting to get it rolling, guys. That's 4 3-pointers for the game. 3 of them coming in this second half.
It's off his foot. And it's whistled a kick. And here is Knight. With 1 on the clock. And another basket for Milwaukee. The points coming in bunches as we wrap up the third quarter. It's been a good one. Knicks lead by 4. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter.
Tune in for a scary night of basketball. Halloween in the NBA. Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors take on Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers. Make sure to catch it.
We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Knicks.
Well, rebounding and second chance opportunities have been a huge factor in this game.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
Felton dishes to Carmelo. Hits the three-point bomb. Anthony's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Knicks. Ridnour kicks to Ilyasova. He feeds it to Ridnour. There's the dish to Ilyasova. That's good. And it's Ridnour picking up the assist.
As long as they keep spraying them from deep, we're going to have ourselves one exciting finish.
Well, it took them a while, but they're finally starting to get some rhythm offensively on the outside. And that fourth foul might force him to scale back the aggression defensively a little bit. He does not want to pick up number 5.
That one is off.
Tyson Chandler, first-time All-Star last season, his 12th season in the league. This is a guy that came right out of high school. It was a long time coming for him, but certainly that All-Star berth well-deserved.
O.J. Mayo, he's checked in for Brandon Knight. And Ilyasova kicks it to Ridnour. Here's Sanders, banked in off the glass.
Well, they were sleeping on defense. The defense really didn't do its job. I mean, a little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint. That's costly.
Well, and at this stage of such a tight game, I think this is when tired legs start to show. And the defense can become vulnerable in the low block.
And it's Anthony with the jam.
Rudely thrown down after the offensive rebound. He is ramped up now.
He is, you're right, and you figure this game might come down to a few of those other plays.
Always does, Kevin.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Seems like that kind of a contest tonight.
Well, they're passing to Sanders. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Nice D from Bargnani. And for Tyson Chandler, it's been a long road over the last few seasons. Steve, he's playing undoubtedly the best basketball of his career.
Yeah, key contributor on Team USA, an NBA champion with the Mavericks in 2011, and now an NBA All-Star. It's the defense, it's the understanding of his teammates and the game plan. Just a very, very smart player and a hard worker as well.
And the Bucks making a change here. Pachulia's checked in. Now Ridnour. Kicks it to Pachulia. Ilyasova. No good from outside.
More often than not today, those shots have not dropped for him.
Felton dishes to Carmelo. New York moving it around. And that one's good. And the Knicks lead by 9.
Great looking bounce pass to set up that play.
Felton against Ridnour. Dishes it to Mayo. They need this. Here's Pachulia. Shot misses. Good work defensively by Anthony. And Shumpert kicks to Anthony. And the call will go against Caron Butler. That's foul number 2 for him.
Looked to me like the defender didn't get squared up and get his feet set.
Good work by the officials. A nice call. That play can be tough to judge sometimes.
Harry Sanders is checked in for Ilyasova. Knocked away. Out of bounds. Knicks ball as New York keeps possession of it. Chance now to check out the schedule for Milwaukee. It's off to Boston for him after this game as they take on the Celtics. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Pass to Felton. And there's the feed to Bargnani. Felton kicks to Anthony. Chandler trying to free himself up. And Anthony with the basket on the assist by Felton. Felton's got 10 assists here tonight. So active. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Good, Kevin. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
The Bucks making a change here. Ilyasova's checked in. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Larry Drew's huddle. He's not pleased with the careless turnovers offensively, saying, listen, we've got to get shots. It's as simple as that. We have to play smart and value the basketball. Kevin, did it sink in?
Thank you, Doris. Ridnour passes to Ilyasova. Milwaukee, no good that time either.
And you can feel the momentum swinging. They needed that shot badly.
Steve, I sense some frustration here. It seems like they're getting a little frustrated. It's understandable because they've given up this big run.
Everything's falling now, and this lead continues to increase.
Yeah, it's just way too hard to keep up with a scoring pace like this. I mean, and that's why the defense is having a tough time.
And the dunk by Sanders.
Really hard to decide, guys, which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
Clark, there's no wrong answer to that one, my friend. Sensational alley-oop all the way around.
Agreed.
All of the above.
Mayo into the lane, and Smith with the block. Out of bounds, New York takes possession. The Knicks leading by 12. Here's Hardaway. Gets it to go. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Hardaway with the steal. From the baseline. Offensive rebound. Bargnani misses the layup.
That's what they call the $1 million move with the 10-cent finish.
Here's Ridenour. Rejected by Bargnani. The drive by Anthony. And there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Here is Ridenour. It's O.J. Mayo on the wing. He dishes it to Ridenour. To Mayo. This one for three. Can't get it to go. And New York the other way now. Smith for three. Milwaukee with the rebound. Butler's got 5 rebounds tonight. It's off to Boston for him after this game as they take on the Celtics. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip.
I think a lot of people will be paying close attention to that Boston game, guys.
Caron Butler is one of those rock-solid, steady vets. Just a pro's pro, we call him. Entering the final year of his contract, you know he's looking to be aggressive out there.
And for Butler out of UConn, a good defender, Steve, a good jump shot.
Yeah, played in one All-Star game back with the Wizards. Now going into his 12th year in the league. He's had a great career.
The first free throw is good.
Remember last year, one of the stranger scenes of the season? Jonas Valanciunas of the Raptors was just winding down the clock, holding the ball. Caron Butler reaches out to shake his hand, and then when Valanciunas responds with his hand, Butler steals the ball from him. I mean, like the keeper.
Clark, that is just ridiculous.
Absolutely filthy. I don't remember ever seeing a dunk like that in the game. I certainly can't remember the last time I saw one.
Oh, man, that was just amazing.
Bucks trail by 17. Ridenour with it. Mayo into the lane. It's Butler that time on the assist by Mayo. And that's now 10 points for Caron Butler.
Now, when he gets an opening like that, he'll definitely take it.
New York's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. The chosen one passes to Chandler. Smith kicks to Anthony. Misses the 3. Milwaukee's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Mayo drives in. It's rebounded by New York. Chandler's got rebound number 12 here already in the game.
It seems like nothing is falling for him this quarter. He's really out of his rhythm.
Great open look there. The chosen one's got 43 points.
He's performing at such a high level. That's why they're in the lead right now.
Ridenour dishes to Mayo. Sanders with a screen on Smith. Mayo, the pass to Sanders. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
You know, one of the bigger improvements last season, as I saw it, was Larry Sanders transforming from a specialist role player into a legitimate starting center. I mean, he always had a knack for defense and blocking shots and rebounding, but he polished up his offensive skills enough to be an impact player at that end of the floor.
And for Sanders, some of his improvement offensively was just sticking to his strengths, finishing around the rim.
Yeah, he improved his shot selection. He's always played with a lot of energy, but I think his decision-making was the reason he finished 3rd in most improved player voting last year.
Nice young player for Milwaukee. The first one falls. Both free throws good from the chosen one. Here is Ridenour. And the chosen one gets the whistle that time. That's his 3rd foul of the game. New York on D. Now, here is Ridenour. And Sanders kicks to Butler. Just 5 on the clock. Shoots from 12. And no good. Trying to use the glass. The Knicks leading by 18. Here's Anthony. Here's Smith. And it's blocked by Mayo. And it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession. Brandon Knights checked in for Milwaukee. Here's the chosen one. There's the triple. And that one's good. The chosen one's got 48.
Tell you what, when he gets it going, this is exactly what can happen. They may have to double team him.
Knocked loose. And that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession. And the Bucks with possession here. And here is Knight. And the chosen one gets the whistle that time. That's his 4th foul of the contest. Stoudemire's checked in for the Knicks. Felton comes in for J.R. Smith. Ilyasova with the ball. Now Stoudemire defending.
Boy, it's been a tough go in terms of fouls for him. And my goodness, he can't stay out of the way of foul.
And he makes the first. Knight hits them both. Here's the chosen one. Dominant performance nearing 50 points.
Dominant is exactly right. I mean, he's just taking over.
Yeah. Steve Kerr type game.
Oh yeah. I used to climb near 50 points time and again, fellas.
Passes to Ilyasova. It's rebounded by New York.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady work they've been doing on the interior, no question. And that's, I think, the main reason they have this lead.
Some fantastic numbers here for the chosen one. He's got 48 points. And talk about the 3-ball for him. Wow, unbelievable from long distance.
Yeah, you are right, Clark. I mean, it's been fireworks from deep. He's just so dangerous out there.
And both free throws good from the chosen one. Here's Mayo. And the pass tonight. Butler. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. Backing down is Sanders. 8 feet away. And it's good. Sanders has got 8 points here in this quarter.
Tell you what, it's a huge plus to have him making shots like that.
Nice shot by Felton.
And that's a difficult shot in the face of a defender that towers over him.
Well, you know, he almost seems to enjoy those mismatches, Steve. It gives him a chance to show what a strong finisher he is.
And there's the call on Felton. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. And he knocks down the first one.
Boy, you have to like how he's challenging the defense now in the second half. Getting to the line for a lot of free throw opportunities.
Knight hits them both. Now Felton. Here's the chosen one. Feeds it to Carmelo. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Anthony's got 40 points.
Good defense, but you gotta love the finish with the finger roll over the top.
And here's Mayo for 3. But they get it back. Here's Ilyasova. It's rebounded by the chosen one. The chosen one's got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's Butler, and he lays it straight in.
He's definitely turned things around in this game. I mean, he was more of a background player in the first half. He's jumped center stage now.
Lets the 3 fly. No good from the chosen one. Bucks trail by 19. Butler kicks to Knight. Back to Butler from outside the arc. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time. Knight's got 4 assists in the game.
Well, Kevin, probably his greatest value lies in his tremendous three-point shooting. When he's out on the perimeter, it gives them the ability to really stretch the defense out.
And offensively, you'll find him often lurking on those corners. Always a high percentage shot among three-pointers, and especially for him.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee.
You know, after the surgeries, all the wear and tear on his knees, you wonder if Amar'e Stoudemire will ever be the same dominant athletic player as he once was. But remember, he's still a very skilled player shooting the ball. So Amar'e still with the potential to be a very productive player.
And Milwaukee has possession. They trail by 18. Ilyasova dishes to Butler. Gives him the lead pass. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And Amar'e certainly has missed his share of time on the floor, but when he did play last season, you know, there were a lot of times Clarkie got it done.
Kevin, on a per-minute basis, he was as good as ever. I think in a reserve role, maybe controlling his minutes can help preserve his knees, and you know, he's skilled enough to score even if he's not jumping out of the gym. Tell you what, what a throwdown.
Look at that athletic play. Incredible. And every point they get now puts them one step closer to the W.
If they're not there already, Steve, that's a tremendous all-around game of basketball they play.
1:51 left to play here in the fourth. Knight kicks to Sandy. It's O.J. Mayo on the wing. That's tonight. Offline with his 3.
Well, it's the edge they've had in that area on the glass that's played a big role in this game.
Yeah, they've got some strong guys, Steve. Guys that are strong and well put together, and they've used that strength to their advantage down low.
It's O.J. Mayo on the wing. Back to Knight. Knight gets a screen from Sanders. Just 4 to shoot. Knight kicks to Butler. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time. 17 points for Caron Butler.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
That's blocked by Mayo, but he gets it back. Here's the chosen one. Great D that time from Brandon Knight.
You know, he's so confident, sometimes to a fault, and that showed right there. That's a bad shot.
Exactly. I mean, that's self-inflicted damage right there. There are a lot better options than what he took. He got a little room at the rim and laid it in. Great play.
Here's the chosen one. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. And for Milwaukee, they're shooting about 40% here in the fourth quarter. Knight kicks to Mayo. Plenty of space. Amar'e Stoudemire with the rebound.
An easy look there, but, you know, he misses those once in a while.
Gets it to go. Anthony's got 43 points.
You got to feel pretty good about this win tonight, guys, defending their home floor.
Yeah, and just riding it out here now. I mean, they gave the fans what they wanted.
And here's Mayo from beyond the arc. Again, Mayo missing. Here's the chosen one. So no problem for New York as they get the win. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
We thank you for tuning into this first game of the new NBA season. So for Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, and the rest of our 2K Sports team, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. But first, let's reveal the Jordan Player of the Game, the chosen one.
Sunshine in a bag, I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. I ain't happy, I'm feeling glad. I got sunshine in a bag, I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on.
Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Now.
Nice. So the first game is in the books, and the New York Knicks win with the upset, 144 to 123 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Thank you guys for sticking tuned, watching this entire video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to have more soon in the Knicks Now series. Click here, subscribe. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe, like, share the video. Click here for my previous video. Game over.